When I was in class 3, I used to hate geography. I still do. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, my geography teacher would just come into the class and start trying to orientate us with our coordinates of geography. She would say, north, head, south, 2, east, right, west, left. Understand? He said, yes. And then she would say, repeat. North, head, 2, south, east, right, west, left. And then she would turn us around, repeat the same thing. And then she would open up something like this. And she would try to explain what this whole thing is. And the world map. And I would just be struggling to find the toe, or the head, or where is the right, or where is the left. So that were those days when geography was an abstract. And we still have to encounter situations where you need to refer to your olden days. And I was with my brother last month. He asked me this question on CPEC. And he asked, what's happening in Pakistan? What is India's interest in CPEC? Why it's causing all these problems? What's happening with China? And I tried to explain it what I knew at that time. I said, well, it takes longer time for China to come with their goods and all that. He said, how long? I said, maybe 10,000, but I wasn't sure. And then I said, why India is causing problems? And I said, well, because they don't like Pakistan. The answers were not convincing, so I had some time, and I knew that this was a concept which, even though it looks very simple, it needed to be understood. What is CPEC and who are the stakeholders? What is Pakistan going through and what are the problems? So this is what CPEC, what we call as a game changer. If we have to understand that, we just need to understand few things. First of all, we need to understand the OPEC. It's the Organization for Petroleum Exporters Countries. And that includes countries like Iran and Iraq and Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, etc. Started with 5 countries in 1960. It is expanded to about 15 countries right now. So these are the countries who are exporting oil, and this channel is called Strait of Hormuz. It is 29 nautical miles wide channel. It's around 52 kilometers wide. So all of the oil supplies come from here. So let's look at India. If India has to take an oil from the Strait of Hormuz, it just goes to its offloads at either Gujarat or Mumbai. Similarly, if China has to take an oil, same passage, but it just goes through from the Strait of Hormuz to the Arabian Ocean to the Indian Channel, and then it's Strait of Malacca. That's small, this channel, through Indonesia, Malaysia, and then it goes up into Sea of China. And that's where this is a troubled place, because this has a claim laid on by many countries. For example, there was a claim in International Court of Justice in The Hague by Philippines, and the decision was given in favor of Philippines. So this is a trouble area for China, because a number of countries have claimed on these small islands that are there. So including Malaysia and Vietnam, Philippines, etc. So these ships have to go up and then to Shanghai or Beijing. By the way, there will be a short quiz in the end. So, China is split into two. That is, on your eastern side, 94% of the population on the eastern side. On the rest, it's only 6% population on the western side. So this is all not inhabited area. So in case of conflict with India, it's very difficult for China to come from east side to the west side. Now, China wants dominance into this area, which is Sea of China, because it wants to control Japan as well. So it wants to do all of this, but it has a long way. It's 14,000 kilometers from Gwadar to Kashgar. It's only 3,000 kilometers. So the distance is shortened by 2,000 kilometers. I'm sorry, it's shortened by good 12,000 kilometers. So around 14 to 15,000 compared to 12 to 13,000. So this is where this is our CPEC route, where it just goes from Gwadar to north, and from Azad Kashmir into Kashgar. Why India does not want it? Because first of all, it had to deal with Pakistan, now it has to deal with China as well. So that's why US does not want it, because China's dominance here at the Strait of Hormuz blocks everything. It can block the oil to India, it can block oil to everyone. Whoever controls this oil, it's 1/3 of the world oil. So that's the kind of issue that the world powers has. So this interest of India, China, US, because of this oil that is there, that's the main thing. So with all this, we now understand why that situation in Balochistan and BL and others, why powers are not allowing this to happen. So this is just a concise way for me to present this CPEC. I actually leave you out of your misery because I've run out of time of quiz. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.